Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good afternoon, everyone. Today, I'm Annisa Dita and I'm going to be presenting about mental health issue affect us all in some way. So before I start, I will make this clear that any questions will be asked after I'm done with my presentation, and then you guys can ask me. Okay, first thing first, what is mental health and why is it important? And anybody know about it? Maybe Izam, do you know something about mental health? Okay, maybe you don't know yet. Okay, anyone? Dinar, maybe?
No.
Not yet? Okay, let's just continue. So, in this presentation, first I'm going to be presenting about definition and then 5 facts about mental health and then kinds of mental disorder and how to cope with mental health. I am going to start with what is mental health. So mental health is emotional, behavior, and social maturity or normality. And this is, I'm going to be underline this thing, which the absence of a mental or behavioral disorder. And due to the definition, the absence of a mental or behavioral disorder, we will learning about what's it and mental and behavioral disorder. Next is 5 facts about mental health. So a lot of guys maybe don't know yet what is mental health and everything, and we just learn about the definition. And first we have some facts about mental health. So number 1 is about how the mental disorders begin before the age of 14. We're 18 now, and some of you guys may be 19, 17. And from the research is about how the mental disorders begin before we were 14. So we're most likely having that mental issue. 2, around 1 in 5 of the world's children and adolescents have a mental disorder. That is so sad because not only adults or the adolescents, but also the children. 3rd is depression is one of the leading causes of disability affecting 264 million people. That is a lot number. That is a huge number for us, and we maybe could be one of them. 4, mental, neurological, and substance use disorders make up 10% of the global burden of disease and 30% of non-fatal disease burden. And then the last one is a person dies from suicide every 40 seconds. Suicide is the second leading cause of death in people aged 15 to 29 years. And that is in our age. And the more we have that pressure, I think the more we're most likely to do suicide and everything. And then next, we may question what is the illness or what is the disorder itself. So I'm having the list here. The first one is anxiety disorder. When you feel anxious, when you feel you don't really comfortable by yourself. And then the second one is obsessive compulsive disorder. Your friends maybe that really a clean freak and they don't want something to be untidy and everything. And then 3rd is panic attack, when people in the crowded environment and they feel they're not safe. And then 4th is bipolar disorder, when they have mood swings, a severe mood swings. And then 5, schizophrenia, when they have a behavioral disorder. And seasonal affective disorder, which also maybe it happened when you're happy only when you're in summer, but you're sad in winter and everything. And also major depression, which can lead to suicide. Phobias, it's also a mental illness that you're maybe afraid to cockroach, maybe you're afraid, anyone afraid of cockroach? Dina, are you afraid of cockroach?
No.
You don't? That's good. And then also an eating disorder. And this eating disorder is not only the one that want to be thin, but also the one that scared to be thin enough, so they're eating and eating and eat so much that they don't really have like the healthy body itself. Next is how to cope with it. So when you're having like the idea of like suicide, or like you feel like you're so sad, is first to track triggers and symptoms. Everything has its own trigger. Something like you're having a rough day, you're having like a bad day, you're maybe like you fail your test and everything. You have to track the triggers that makes you sad. Second is stay calm. So don't be anxious, don't panic, just stay with yourself and like be calm. Third is understand and accept depression. So in this stage, you already know that you have depression, and I think that we have to accept it as the way we are. Four is separate yourself from the depression itself. So don't drown yourself on those like black hole and like keep separating yourself from others. Please go away from that depression. Five, recognize the importance of self-care. So I think when you eat healthy food and like you sleep enough, it's something that you really take care of yourself, and it's something that you have to take care of. And then next is breathe deeply and relax the muscles. Don't be too tense about something. Maybe you have tests after this, but don't be too tense. And then challenge the negative thoughts. Negative thoughts is come from anywhere and like anytime. So I think you have to like fight for it, and you don't want to be like be defeated from it. And then next is practice mindfulness. So don't think so short. Don't think like jumping onto conclusion and everything. I think we all have to practice, try to be like mindfulness. And then make a bedtime routine, which is what I said earlier about like the self-care and the importance itself. And then exercise, because exercise could really be controlling your body and like make yourself healthy, and maybe make yourself feel a little good about your own self. And then avoid alcohol, because I think that it's only gonna make it worse. And then record the positives, take the rewards from yourself. Maybe you've done a good thing, maybe you've done like the best thing that you can do, and then you have to reward yourself. And then the last one is like asking for help. And of course, if you're having this issue, you don't want to be alone. You don't want to left behind with everyone, and then you don't know like what to do. So I think the last one you have to do is like asking for help, maybe from psychiatry, psychologists, maybe your friend, of course, the families and everything. Everyone could help you from this, and I think you won't be having this alone. So this was the references that I'm having earlier, and then thank you. Anyone have any questions? Maybe Izam, are you having any question?
I want to
Yes, please.
In our society, mental illness still be considered as crazy people. What do you think?
So yes, of course, in our society, mental illness is still be considered as a crazy people and everything. And I think that mental illness is for everyone. By that I mean we really have to educate ourselves that mental illness is normal and everyone can have it, and you don't have to be shameful for it because you're not alone. I do think so like that. So maybe that's it for me. Thank you for everyone that has been like paying attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.